everyone. Today I'm gonna try and put all the Shaddoll cards in a tier list. Shaddoll is actually very hard to do because it was originally released in 2015. It was a pretty good deck. It was one of the main four decks. Lasted quite a while through the Shaddoll. Wait, it was released in 2014. My bad. And it survived through the Necros era, and then it slowly died when Construct was banned. Construct recently came off the Forbidden list along with getting Legacy support, which did revive the deck, but it's gonna be hard to explain the fact that cards will be evaluated very differently because some cards are good before and aren't good now, and some cards are good now and weren't good before. Again with the rating system, so S is like the game breaking cards are really good, A are just really good, B are cards that are good and filled like a niche role. C cards that saw some kind of play or like have some capacity for play, and D are cards that just didn't see play or are generally unplayable. I guess we'll start with the fusions. Nautilus is a B tier card. It saw play when Necros was the best deck. They tried really hard to summon a turn one. It was very difficult. A lot of times you just ended up like enemy controller, the unicorn, and then just fusioned with it. Sometimes you could use the equip spell to summon it, or you'd have to use a core. Or it was hard to summon, but when it did, it was pretty much game winning against Necros. It was very difficult for them to out. Because when it's on the field, neither player can special summon monsters from the hand or graveyard using spell or trap cards. And if it's sent to graveyard, you can. So all the fusions have the effect where it's sent to graveyard, you can add a Shaddoll spell or trap from the graveyard to the hand. 2700 attacks, that's not bad. Ab Cologne's one of the new ones. It's A tier. It's pretty good in current Shaddoll. So it has to be fusion summoned. It cannot be destroyed by battle, and you can only use one of the following effects, or you can only use each of the following effects once per turn. So it's got the same effect where when sent to graveyard, you add a but this time you add a Shaddoll card from your deck or graveyard to your hand, and then you discard a card. It's pretty good for when it leaves the field. And its other effect, when it's special summon, you can target one face-up card on the field and negate its effect. So you usually summon it off Shaddoll Fusion using either the new area or new Wendy, and then you special summon it, you negate an effect. It's pretty good. Construct's an S tier card. Especially in like old Shaddoll, like you'd summon it using Shaddoll Fusion, send a Dark and a Light from deck to graveyard. Both of them usually had effects, and then you can send one more card using its effect, so that you trigger third effect, and then whenever it battled a special summon monster, you immediately destroy that monster. And then when it's sent from the field to graveyard, you would add a Shaddoll spell trap. So you just got so many card advantage out of that. On top of it having 2800 attack and automatically destroying special summon monsters. It got even better when like the clowns were released, so it could trigger like Damage Juggler and Trick Clown. It worked with like Denko Sekka, just a whole bunch of light monsters you were playing anyway, like Electromagnetic Turtle, the Artifacts, Wyver Buster. There's so many good cards that were enabled because of Construct, and ultimately they deemed her too powerful for constructed play. They banned her, and now she's back, and still very powerful. Next we have Krista. Krista didn't see play, but it's not like the worst of them. So Krista's effect. So when your opponent would special summon a monster where you have a Shaddoll card in your hand, you can negate the summon and destroy that monster, then send one Shaddoll card from your hand to your graveyard. So it's like a Thunder King effect. It wasn't very good, but it was also very hard to summon. It's a D tier. It wasn't like completely unplayable. Like Wendigo was unplayable. The Wendigo's effect is that it's a quick effect. You can target one monster you control, cannot be destroyed by battle with a monster special summon monster. So it's just the worst construct. It did have 2800 defense, but it was really hard to summon because there's no wind monster or wind archetype that was being played. Or you didn't have any wind cards in your deck. Shakanaga was an A tier card for sure. Shakanaga was very powerful. 2800 attack, 3000 defense. 2600 attack, sorry. When a special summon monster activates its effect, where you have a Shaddoll card in your hand, you can negate the activation, destroy the monster, and then send one Shaddoll card from your hand to the graveyard. 3000 defense made it extremely difficult to remove, and it had built-in negation against monster effects. It was very good. Especially when Super Polymerization was a card and you could just Super Polymerization a Cleafort monster to summon it. Oh my god, Super Polymerization really silly. Wind is an S tier card. So Wind's effect is that it cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effect, and each player can only special summon once while it's face up on the field. So you would like Shaddoll Fusion summon this, trigger 2 dark effects, and now your opponent's locked to 1 summon, which is usually not enough to get rid of it. It also saw play afterwards in quite a lot of decks using Shaddoll Fusion as an engine to send Dark Monster to graveyard, most notably in like Orchest, where you would summon a Wind as a free monster, you send an Orchest to graveyard, and you trigger a beast or a dragon or something. So that was really good, and then afterwards they just started using Instant Fusion anyway to protect it with Dingarisu, and it would just lock your opponent out of special summoning as like a pseudo kind of oppression. You also had Shaddoll Fusion. It's a solid A tier card. So, yeah, it's a quick play fusion spell that allows you to play on their turn. You just fuse off 2 monsters, trigger both their effects, summon one of the fusions to summon Window to stop them from special summoning, summon Construct to send more cards, summon this one to negate effects, or summon this one to negate effects. Yeah, that's about it really for these cards. So going into these cards, I think this is like pure Shaddoll or something. Let me get its name. Yeah, it's pure Shaddoll Aeon. You target a Shaddoll monster, you control one Shaddoll. You send one Shaddoll card from your hand to graveyard, and the targeted monster gains 1000 attack and defense and gets flipped down to defense position. It's unplayable. Let's go through some other unplayable cards. So this is a Curse of the Shadow Prison. It's a field spell. And each time a Shaddoll monster is sent to the graveyard by card effect, you place this counter on it, and for each monster sent, and all monster your opponent controls lose 100 attack for each counter on it. In each time you fusion summon a Shaddoll monster, you can remove 3 spell counters. Use one appropriate face-up monster your opponent controls as one of the materials. Yeah, just wouldn't play it. Especially not with Super Poly at 3 as well. Hound was also unplayable. Hound's effect was like you like flip a monster's position or something. Yeah, so his Hound's effect, flip effect, you target a Shaddoll card in your graveyard, add it to your hand. That was alright, but it was too slow to play. And with sent to graveyard, you target one monster in the field and change its battle position. And flip effect monsters aren't activated except Shaddoll, just wouldn't play it over any of the other ones. So going back to some of the other cards, Aerial. Aerial is either low A, high B tier card. So her flip effect, you target one of your banished Shaddoll monsters and you special summon and face up or face down defense position. And if it's sent to the graveyard by card effect, you can target up to 3 cards in graveyard and banish them. It's pretty, so it's a low A, high B tier card. We'll put in B for now. It's not amazing compared to all the other Shaddolls. It does enable you to summon this one a lot easier. It's not as good as Wendy, for sure. You have Nephis Shaddoll Fusion, which is equipped spell fusion. It's not the worst card. It enabled you to summon a Nautilus a lot easier back in the day. Like if this card was out during Necrostorm, it'd be like pretty good to summon this, but we weren't that lucky. Yeah, so this enables this was like your 7th fusion spell in Old Shaddoll, and it enabled you to summon this one. Yeah, it's not much else to say. It wasn't really good beyond that. It had a very niche pick spot. So what's this one? This one, catch Shaddoll Chaos. So flip, you special summon a Shaddoll monster from your deck and face up or face down defense position. And if it's sent to the graveyard by card effect, you can send one Shaddoll monster from your hand to graveyard. Mostly for its flip effect, but it's a B tier. It's not the worst. Even probably C tier, honestly. It sees like very niche play in Shaddoll these days. Wendy, on the other hand, is a very good A tier card. Wendy's effect, so it's flip effect, you special summon Shaddoll monster from your deck and face up or face down defense position. So it's the same as CAD, but from deck. And then if sent to graveyard by card effect, you can special summon Shaddoll monster from your deck and face down defense position. Yeah, it's pretty good. Like it enables you to summon this a lot easier. It special summons like twice. Like either way, you're special summoning a monster from your deck. Very powerful. Yeah. Next we have Beast. Beast is a very good A tier card. Beast, it's a flip effect, you draw 2 this card 1, which is very powerful. So in old Shaddoll, you would just, at the end of your turn, you tribute your construct to set a Beast. That way, your opponent can't get their Shaddoll Fusion value off your field. Basically, and then, or if it's sent to graveyard by card effect, you just draw a card, it digs you 1 card deeper into whatever you need. It was so good that you played it in a lot of deep draw decks, such as Danger FTK or like variants of Danger FTK, where you'd use the Danger engine, and compatible with the Lore of Darkness. It was good with Curious. It was good with the beginning of the end. So yeah, Beast was one of the better ones. It wasn't even bad to draw in regular Shaddolls. So regular construct, C tier. Yeah, not much to say about it. So you just get to fusion summon once. Yeah. Shaddoll Core an A tier card back in the day. So you special summon as an effect monster, and then that way you can substitute it for any attribute. So that was a slow way to get to any of the fusions. And if it's sent to graveyard, you can add a Shaddoll spell trap, accept itself, so you would add a fusion back. So you always recurring cards with it, and it was pretty good. Dragon's an A tier, Falco's A tier, Hedgehog and Squamata are A tier. So Shaddoll cards are all individually just good, but then when they're put together, they're like insane. Which is what a lot of archetypes aim to be, where you just have like a bunch of things holding together. But the problem with Shaddoll was always if it never got the fusion spell, all your good cards were just good, and every other deck was just better. So that's why you have a lot of cards in like the A tier. So Dragon, when sent to graveyard, you destroy a spell or trap, so that was good enough to warrant play in other decks where you would just use Mathematician or Foolish Burial or Shaddoll Fusion to send it to the graveyard. Its flip effect, you target 1 card your opponent controls, return it to hand. That came up quite often to get rid of problematic monsters like Dante and other constructs. Falco, when it's sent to graveyard, you special summon and face down defense position, and then that way on your turn you can flip summon it to special target 1 Shaddoll in your graveyard and special summon it in face down defense position to recur monsters. Hedgehog, when it's sent to the graveyard, you add a Shaddoll card from your deck to your hand. Shaddoll monster from your deck to your hand, and its flip effect, you add a Shaddoll spell trap from deck to your hand. And some days were really sad where your turn was set Hedgehog and pass, and because you didn't have the spell. Squamata, when it's sent to graveyard, you can send any other Shaddoll card from your deck to graveyard, which is really good because it gave you access to any of these or like whatever fusion card you were missing. Or you can dump a core as well and get like a fusion spell back. It's really good. And its flip effect, you just target a monster on the field and destroy it. That came up sometimes. But all these flip effects were triggered by Sinister Shadow games, which doesn't see play now. Back in the day, when they did play it, it was an S tier card. It was very defining in the mirrors, defining in all matchups. You'd send a Shaddoll card from your deck to graveyard, then you flip as many Shaddoll set monsters you have face up, and then you just trigger so many effects. And it was so powerful. Is there something I'm missing? I don't think so. Let me just double check the card to see how. So yeah, you send 1 Shaddoll card from your deck to graveyard. So it's relevant because you can send core, and then you can change any number of face down Shaddoll monsters face up. So you trigger all their effects. Shaddoll Fusion's an S tier card. Being able to fuse using monster from your deck is really powerful because you're essentially summoning a big monster for free. You trigger at least 2 effects if you're summoning Winter, and possible 2 effects when you're summoning Construct as well. It still sees play in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! When Orcus was using it to summon Winter as well as an out in the side. And then we have the Wraith Shaddoll thing. Yeah, Resh Shaddoll Incarnations, like against an A tier, A or B tier card, we'll put in B tier. If you target a Shaddoll monster in your graveyard, special summon it face up or face down defense position. Second effect is that you can banish it and a Shaddoll card from your graveyard, and you change 1 face down monster you control face up or one face-up monster you control face-down, you can usually send it to graveyard using any of your effects which sends to the graveyard. It's held back by the fact it's a trap card in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! But it's not bad. It's like low A, high B. Along with this, these are like low A, high B. And then you have these two Zephyr cards. I'm sorry, I don't know what they do. All Zephyr cards look really similar to me, and I can't really tell which ones are used and which ones aren't used. They all have the pendulum effect where you can't pendulum summon cards except Shaddoll or Zephyr cards. This one, when it's pendulum summon, you target a card in either player's pendulum zone, return to hand. You must have a Zephyr card in your pendulum zone to activate and resolve it. And this one, if it's pendulum summon, you can target one Zephyr card in your pendulum zone and special summon it. I'd imagine they cease play to some sort of capacity in the Zephyr deck. But do not quote me on that. Yeah, let me know what you think of this archetype. I think I might have been really incorrect in a lot of them, but I'm willing to learn and accept what I missed out on. Please educate me. Thank you for watching. Please let me know what archetype you'd like to see next.